And at a time when all social values were being examined and re-examined, the theatre gave rise to all kinds of protest. Strindberg's belief in the dream nature of the theatre fathered a host of writers who called themselves expressionists, a view of the world from within the individual artist, subjective, personal, introvert. Frank Wedekind, the German actor and playwright, who incidentally fathered the child of one of Strindberg's ex-wives, was obsessed by the power of sexual relationships. During his life, he was imprisoned and his work censored, but it wasn't until after his death in 1918 that it was to be produced and appreciated in the disturbing, liberal Berlin of the 1920s. Performed in the relaxed atmosphere of nightclubs, it helped to create a new kind of theatre.
Proud gentlemen and ladies who love pleasure, step right up and enter our little zoo.
Wedekind had also worked in the ballet and the circus, and his characters, like wild beasts, could be savage and dangerous.
But step right up. You'll see reptiles here from all regions. Chameleons, snakes, dragons, crocodiles, salamanders that live in cliffs, and legions of other slimy things.
His two plays about the character of Lulu tell the tragedy of a stage dancer who's also meant to be a symbol of the new 20th century woman, the creature who Strindberg had feared so much.
A ballad by Frank Wedekind.
Ich war ein Kind von 14 Jahren, ein reines unschildballes Kind. Als ich zum
But Wedekind has much more in sympathy with the female than ever Strindberg was. Through Lulu, he shows how an innocent and very young girl is taken advantage of and exploited by men.
Someone who writes trash like that shouldn't be surprised if he lands up in jail.
Filth is in the mind of the beholder.
Wedekind uses a tightrope as a metaphor for male anxiety.
I see myself in them reflected as a Piero.
Damn your dancing.
I have to change.
Just one question.
I can't answer.
Don't you have a soul?
I don't know.
Have you ever been in love?
I don't know.
She doesn't know.
I don't know.
Because this new emancipated female seems to be such a threat, she provokes even more aggression from the male.
Richly furnished with every imaginable comfort to live completely as your own mistress. Imagine if instead of that rabble out there, you had only one spectator.
It wouldn't...
Lulu is a performer, an object, and she's besieged by men who want to subjugate her either as mistress or wife.
You sent me to school, taught me manners. Except for you, no one in the whole world has ever given me anything.
But she takes extreme measures to escape the traditional female role.
Our heroine, after a year in a jail cell for her third husband's murder, is rescued by Countess Geschwitz.
Lulu's friend, the extraordinary Countess Geschwitz, emerges as the tragic central figure. she displays superhuman self-sacrifice in the way she effects Lulu's escape from prison.
There was a cholera epidemic in Hamburg. I took a course in nursing. When I had the qualifications, I went to nurse the cholera victims. Instead of burning the underclothes of a patient who had just died, I put them on myself. I traveled immediately to the prison, and while the guard was outside her cell, Lulu and I exchanged our underclothes. That day, we both contracted cholera. Separately, we were rushed to the same isolation ward behind the hospital, looking like skeleton twins. We just had to switch beds and hopla.
And everything was back to normal.
Of the Countess, one of the first overt portrayals of a lesbian on the stage, saves Lulu from the law, but not from her own savage companions in the underworld. In a series of short, sharp scenes, Wedekind depicts Lulu's downfall in the style of a penny dreadful or horror comic.
The state prosecutor's office will pay 1,000 marks to anyone who gives to them the escaped murderers. On the other hand, a certain establishment in Cairo will pay 1,200 marks.
Threaten me with the police as much as you like. There's no money left.
Don't lie to me, you whore.
Take me home with you. They're going to hand me over to the police.
Who?
The acrobat.
I'll take care of him.
He says he must have you tonight, or tomorrow he'll turn me over to the police.
You know I can't belong to any man. He'll treat me like a beast. He'll avenge himself for his disappointment and beat my head in. Please don't make me, please.
From the frying pan into the fire, London Soho, and Lulu meets Jack the Ripper.
But Lulu's descent into squalor and prostitution causes the Countess to attempt suicide.
And then death.
I love. I starve. Have mercy.
Oblivious to her friend's agony, Lulu has, unfortunately, caught the fancy of Jack the Ripper.
Come on.
Who's that?
My sister. She's mad. I can't get rid of her.
You've got a beautiful mouth. How much do you want? I don't have much.
How would you like to spend the night?
I've got to get home.
So you missed the bus, spent the night with a friend.
Good evening.
No, my God, you mustn't go.
Why the hell not? Sounds suspicious. How long have you been in the business?
My first day. Now lie down and be quiet.
She's not your sister. She's in love with you. Poor bitch. All I've got's a silver piece.
Doesn't matter. Let's have it.
You'll have to give me half of it back so I can get the bus in the morning.
I'm broke. That's all I have. I change it in the morning.
I want it all.
All right, but come on.
We don't need a light. There's the moon.
Don't make me beg you anymore.
I'm ready.
Wächst die Hausfrau nachts die Kette vor. Im Korridor steh ich hervor.
This is the theatre theatrical, the serious made funny, the work of an original writer in Germany at the turn of the century with this particular blend of drama and music.
Ich bin ein Nackgespitz, dein Suse Sackgespitz. Ich weg, ich dick, so oft ich du mich liebling nimmst. Sei bloß nicht so erschreckt, nun wirst du aufgedeckt. Nun wirst du aufgedeckt und wirst du wieder so gedeckt. Schmeiß mich das Fenster ein, reiß mich Knielstein. Nein, nur den Elfenbein, reiß mich allein. Ich gelbe Nackgespitz, ein Stückchen Mix, das glänzt. Ich brauche wirklich nur Bargeld retour.
No matter how disturbing the subject, Wedekind kept a humorous and ironic distance from it. And in the finale, tongue-in-cheek, he metes out to Lulu the end that conventional society would wish on her. And so we begin to recognize the theatre of the 20th century. Wedekind had written and rewritten the Lulu plays between 1895 and 1903. And it's an astonishing fact that he couldn't possibly have arrived at this kind of drama without the massive theatrical revolution that had been instigated by Ibsen and Strindberg. The theatre was now capable of containing moral, social, psychological and political problems. It's the content that matters, not the form. Ibsen and Strindberg are the fathers of modern drama because each was possessed of a blinding vision of humanity, and therefore their work demanded that the style of acting, direction and staging changed. One group of actors, under the direction of a nobleman, George, Duke of Saxe-Meiningen, rose to the challenge. Ibsen saw them perform 2 of his plays and he was impressed. And a young Russian saw them when the company visited Moscow. As a result, he decided to work in the theatre. That was Konstantin Stanislavski. Together with a doctor-turned-playwright, Anton Chekhov, he was, as we shall see, to change the theatre irrevocably.